everybody, because not everybody is on Zoom with us. Some people are from the outside. When we talk about our hand model today, we're focusing on what is called structure and function. The way things are built, they're built a certain way to do a certain job. There we go. I'll check back to that. All right, so the list of things. I know some people are getting in here. What you'll need, let me go back to my screen share. I'm going to spotlight my video so everything is ready to go. I pushed the wrong button. And what we need to do is I'm going to go back here. Somebody asked me what we'll need today. Let me go back up one. And you're going to need, okay, like a half sheet of construction paper or cardstock that will fit your hand. You'll need a pen or a pencil to trace. You're going to need 3 to 4 straws. You'll want the plastic straws because they're flexible. You could use paper straws, but when they get wet, and the more you touch them, the less they kind of work and they stay together. You'll need some string. Okay. When you look at this, okay, you'll need 2 to 3 feet of string. There might be other things that you need. Okay, if you don't have all of the materials, you'll be okay. You'll need some tape. I like to use masking tape. Okay, I like to use masking tape. You could use Scotch tape. The thin string, like thread, will work fine. You might have to double up on it. You want a little bit of thickness. I'm using just regular yarn string, and you'll need scissors. Okay, if you don't have the material, watch along how we do this, and we'll be okay. I know a lot of you are saying, I don't have this, I don't have this. It's okay. Use what you got. All right. So when we talk about our hands, we have really focused on using our systems, right? We have focused on things like our eyes and how we see things. We focused on, well, I think we've done in a 4th grade, we've done the string sounds where we put that in your ear and knocked it. We listened to the vibrations. We did some human inertia tricks where we talk about things that stay in motion, want to stay in motion, and objects at rest want to stay at rest. And we used inertia to our advantage as humans, and we caught pennies off our elbows. We flicked cards from underneath. You could do the old tablecloth trick. You could use your ability to use your wrist and your fingers to throw playing cards and spin them. Remember, we talked about spin as our friend. Okay. And we're going to finish up doing a couple little things of modeling our ability to see and do things using materials we have. The neat thing about the hand model, and our hands are so unique, okay? The biggest reason we have advancements in our brains, okay, are these things right here, our thumbs. They're an opposable thumb. They're much more able to do fine, delicate motion and really big motion. It's really strange, okay? If you look at things that are kind of close to us, like other mammals, such as apes, monkeys, other things, they have thumbs, but they're not able to do all the things that we can. They're very long. It's more like a crush grip, okay? And it's more knuckled together. There's no ability to do fine motor skills. They have big motor skills, but they don't have the fine motor skills, okay? The things that we can do, from swinging a hammer to threading a tiny needle to, if you think about it, surgeons who can use little lasers and tie sutures in things. Like the most important thing at Children's Hospital in Omaha, they are world known for their ability to do heart surgery on brand new newborns that have holes in their hearts. If you think about how small newborn babies are in humans, and going in and doing surgery in their tiny heart to sew up a hole, think about the delicate hand movement that you would have to do as a surgeon. Very precise, very tough, okay, without doing any damage. So we talk about This in science is what's called structure and function. The way we put things together is called structure, how we build things. Okay? If I give you a random pile of things, okay, everyone would build something different. How you put it together determines how it works. Let me say that again. How you put things together tells you how things work. Function is how does it work. All right? So if you had a pile of boards and a pile of bricks, you could build a lot of things. You could build houses, you could build planters, you could build barns, you could build all sorts of things. But how you put it together determines how it works. So the easiest thing to look at is think about Legos, okay? I like to build with Legos quite a bit, where there are lots of Legos around here. All right, so let's say, actually, let's start with the least complex thing, okay? Let's take this little dorky little snowplow, okay? Kind of neat little thing came out of it. If I look at this, I've got this little angle piece here, okay? This little angle piece that can flex. It's supposed to resemble like a snowplow. But the other thing is these pieces right here, how they're shaped, allow me to put these little pieces inside that look like this, that I can put on that actually act like wheels. These are actually gear sprockets, but that's okay. By doing this, if I put these pieces together, I end up with something that looks like a snowplow. But if I change this right here, if I changed like the front end of this to something completely different, if I rebuilt it, I wouldn't have a snowplow. I would have, well, a rocket ship or something different. Maybe I want to put this here, and maybe I want to flip this way, and maybe it's going to look like a sports car. Okay, now it doesn't look like a snowplow. Now it looks like something else, like a mower or something. Okay, how I put it together tells me how it works. Same thing with this little sled. The difference between wheels, okay, and skis determine how well you go over snow. These wheels are going to grind into the snow. They're not going to get traction, and they're going to plow through the snow. Whereas if I take these little skis right here, I'm going to be on top of the snow. Okay? I won't press in. Think about skiers. They don't really dig into the snow. They're on top of the snow. But if I have a snow plow, I'm going to push the snow away. When we look at this, okay, when you look at something more complex, when I look at Legos like this, okay, I've got this fancy toucan looking thing, okay? It has a lot of different parts that can act like hinges, okay? I've got these pieces here that make the bird have the ability to have a neck, okay, that can go up and down, okay, kind of like we have muscles and vertebrae in our neck that allow our neck to go up and down. It can make it look like I'm eating something, right? I don't think this will do anything else. These eyes spin. I don't know why they do that. But if I look at these pieces right here, this is what's called, all right here. This is a ball and socket joint, okay? If I were to take this off, I know I took the bird's wing off. Here's the ball right here, okay? This is a socket. The ball fits in the socket, and what it does is it allows this to move. Now, a bird's wing shouldn't move 360 degrees, but what it allows it to do is you can move, and you can make it flap without breaking it, flap like a bird because of the way it's put together, if you think about it, all right? We have the same thing. Now, we can't do that with our thumbs or with anything else, but we have joints in our body that act like a ball and socket, okay? Mainly it's our hip. Our hip is a ball and socket because the femur has a head of the socket, but this actually kind of works like a ball and socket too, because there's a ball kind of joint, the tip of our humerus here, and then our shoulder blade. And the nice thing about our shoulder is it allows us to have 360-degree motion. There's no other joint in our body that allows for 360-degree motion. Not our neck, not our hip, not our toes, not our ankle, but full rotation is in our shoulder. how we put all of these things together determines how it works. That's why our shoulder is able to do things like softball players can use that 360-degree windmill, okay, to use their pitching, because our shoulder can do a 360-degree motion. That's why you can do arm circles. You can't do leg circles with your legs. You can't spin it because the joint of your hips don't allow you to do that. Now you can go kind of 180 degrees back and forth and maybe a little bit past it if you're really flexible, but it's not perfect, okay? How we put our body together, how we put these Legos together. If I were to take all these Legos together and put them back together, could I build something completely different? You bet. If I gave you a pile of Legos, everybody would come up with something completely different. Maybe you'd build a snake. Maybe you'd build a building. Maybe you'd build a car. I don't know. Some of you are more creative than me. But how you put things together determines how it works. Okay? The way they put cell phones together determine how they work. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to build a full-size model of your hand using the things that we do. Why is this important? Because can we build artificial or quote unquote fake limbs? Can we build a replacement hand? Can we build a replacement arm? Can we build replacements? Yeah, we can. Okay. They're called prosthetics. We do this a lot. Okay. Check out these prosthetics. These are real life models of legs, arms, hands, all of those things that function, that work. Okay, and we do this, all right? We can 3D print a lot of them. We're getting really close to the point of where we can 3D print organs to replace them, which is great. Okay. So we are going to work on this, and I'm going to show you how to do this, and then we're going to do the best we can. I'm going to stop my screen share. I'm going to switch my video, and we're going to work together to do this. Now, not all of you will be perfect at this. Not all of you will kind of go at the same pace. Will be just fun. I'm going to kind of show you a little bit what I've done first of all. Okay, the first thing I did is I traced my hand on a piece of construction paper. Okay, I built this on a piece of construction paper and went ahead and cut it out. Now notice I spread my fingers out just a little bit. Okay, spread my fingers out just a little bit so that I am able to work on this. So if you're working with me, go ahead, trace your hand and cut it out. I'll give you a minute or two to kind of go ahead and do that. While you're waiting, if you have questions about a few things, let me know. And I know there's a lot of people who aren't able to do it. Okay, cardstock is just a suggestion because it's thicker. If you have construction paper, that's fine. If you have regular paper, that works fine too. This is just a model. Okay, we're just making a simple model. It doesn't have to be exactly what I say. It doesn't have to be perfect. Never worry about this being perfect. We're using science and doing science with what we have. A minute or a couple minutes here. Yeah, do you cut it out? Yeah, I would go ahead and cut it out. Yeah, go ahead and cut it out. I'll give you a few minutes. Go ahead and cut it out. I know it's not exciting. If you have questions about things like body joints or things like that, that you might have some curiosity about, now is a good time to ask that. Okay, I am working on just being here, giving you guys some time to cut things out. I'm kind of watching what everybody's doing, not because I'm creepy and weird like that, but I'm just watching. I know people are working really hard, which is great. And if you can't do this with us, that's fine. Just watch so you know what to do, and then we'll be ready to move on. Checking on everybody. That's fine. I know, yeah, some people didn't have all the materials. Some people came in a little bit late. Those of you who don't know what we're doing or don't have all the materials, that's fine. Great. Yeah, just watch it, try it. And that way, if you watch the video later too, you can pause it, stop it, do all those things. See a lot of people cutting things out. It's great. So it's kind of a neat thing when you think about structure. You're actually going to build a model of your hand, and hopefully you can make this piece of paper act just like your hand. Your goal is going to be able to make all of your fingers curl kind of into a fist. Not perfect, but it'll kind of curl more like this. If you can get it to curl like this or this, you're doing it well. Okay, it'll be really cool. It will end up really, really, really cool if you can get it to work. Okay, I know some people are still kind of cutting things out. Finish cutting things out. Just kind of follow along with me, those of you as you listen, just so we don't run too many people off and scare the world. All right, so I have my hand cut out here. Okay, I have my hand cut out here. Okay. And what I need to decide is I need to decide which side of it's going to be my palm side and which side is going to be the side that people see. Now, it doesn't really matter because it's going to end up being a right hand or a left hand. And if you build one, you build it opposite for the other. Now, because I have all of my lines and my writing is on this side is going to be my side where I put everything. This other side is going to be my outside side where I could add some decoration. I'll show you how to add the decoration. Now, what I want to think about is this. If I have my hand, okay, and I want it to curl like this, I need to make some marks on my paper on the inside so I know where my hand curls. So what I would do is this, okay, and take one finger. And can everybody see kind of where the notches are in my finger? Okay, where my joints bend? I've got one here. I've got one here. And then my other one is down in here. So what I want to do is I want to match my finger up. And I kind of slide it off to the side. Kind of make a little bit of a mark. One here. Where's that next one? Here. And then I've got another one, it's down here, okay? And I'm gonna do that for all of my fingers. Here, so these are here, here, and here. Yep, okay. And this is why we'll use masking tape so that we can make adjustments. Scotch tape is just a little bit stickier. And so, yeah. Now this will be the side that no one really sees. So that's why we have these marks. Okay, so those of you who are cutting, you might kind of want to pause here. So I'm going to show you the next step. Oh, I probably should do that for my thumb too, right? Yeah, thumb. I'm doing this left-handed because I'm just, yeah. One. And so there's that. 1, 2, and then it's just down here. So that's just an estimate, all right? It's not going to be perfect. Just be close. So what we want to do is we're going to use our tape here. I'm going to put a little bit of tape up here. You won't need a lot of tape to do this. There's going to be a lot of taping and untaping and taping and untaping as you go along. What you're going to do is you're going to try to build the joints of your finger. So watch carefully as I do this, okay? So I'm going to take this straw right here to to represent the bones in my hand. Okay, the string here is going to represent the tendons that are in here. That if you look, you can kind of see the tendons of my wrist. That's more, yeah, right here. You can really see it right here. You can see the tendons as they move and they move over those joints. Okay, so you can see how things move, and you know that there are what are called tendons. They're basically like really long, kind of stretchy ligaments. Okay. So what I will do, I'm going to first start by doing this. I'm going to take a piece of tape and I'm going to build my tendon. Just, I would watch carefully. I'm going to very, very, very gently, so that I can cover this on the other side, tape it over the, right? Everybody see how I kind of did that so it keeps that string down? There are a couple different ways to attack this problem. The first way I could do this is I could cut my straw into little pieces that represent the bones in my finger. So what I would do is I would take this right here, I'm going to look, and I'm going to estimate where I am, and I'm going to cut. Try to see if I made a mark. Okay, measure. I'm going to cut. Yep, there it is. About the length of the bone of my finger. Okay. Then I'll take my piece of my string. I'm going to slide it through my string like this. I'm going to put it in place right here. I'm going to put it in place right here where my bone would be. And this is really big. I have a really big straw. And then I'm going to tape it down so that it doesn't move. Now, if you have a smaller straw, guess what? Is it going to work easier? You bet. Okay, so I'm going to pinch that down. I'm going to fold it over. And so when I pull this straw, when I pull this, look what's happening. I'm getting some bend, right? Is it perfect? No. Do I need to add to it still? You bet. I still need to add to it. So I need another piece of straw that I can fit right here. And you can trim it. You can make adjustments, all of these things that you need. All right. Slide this in here. And will there be a little bit of a gap? There should be. Okay. Now, look at where I cut this. Is that too big? Yeah, that's too big. Okay, I got to trim that down. So I'm going to cut that. And you're going to need to be doing a lot of changes and a lot of modifications. And it's not going to be perfect. Okay, that looks pretty good. Be a little bit of space between. So take this piece of tape right here. Okay, I'm going to fold this over. All right, now when I pull this, now look. Is it looking more like a regular finger? Is it looking more like a regular finger? I see some yeses. It kind of does, right? This is a little bit, okay, this curls, right? It's getting there. If I put another one here, that might work as well. Right? That's one way to do this. There's one other trick. Yeah, this is really neat. And if I put another one here, I bet if I put one more right here, if I put one more right here, let me see what happens. Somebody said this is really neat and interesting. It is. Once you get the whole thing done, it is really, really, really neat when you get the whole thing done. I've seen some sixth graders work. Some of the sixth graders in the past who have done this have made some really, really awesome models. But this is going to take time. It's going to take patience. And it's not going to be the easiest. So let me put one more. Whoop, I have a problem. So I forgot to thread that through there. Should probably thread my tendon through there. That would probably be a wise choice. Pull that through. Let me put one more there and show you guys what it might look like when you get done. try to straighten this out. All right, now if I pull this, now look. That looks pretty close to my actual finger. That looks pretty close to me curling that finger. Yes. So am I going to need to make some adjustments to this? Yeah. My goal is to be when I pull this string, I should be able to curl just that finger in the way I would. It's pretty close. It's pretty close. Not bad. But what I probably need to do is trim off some of this here and here and shorten it up a little bit. That's one way. Another way to do this, and Matt kind of came up with this, and he's much more engineeringly smart sometimes than I am. What he did, instead of cutting the little pieces, and it actually works even better, what he did is he cut some tiny notches, like little triangles out of it. I'm going to see if I can show you how this works. Cut some triangles out of it. And actually, when he made his model, okay, you've got these little notches. And when he pulled his model, these actually flex better than the other. So if I take these off real quick, let me take these off real quick. When it's done, can you pick up stuff? I don't know if you can pick up things with it. You'd have to try it. Actually, where is my other pieces? Do I have enough? Here, I'm going to steal a piece of string. Let's see if this works. Should we see if that Matt's model works? We'll try it. The worst we can do is try, right? Absolutely. So I'm going to put this here real quick. I'm going to tape this down. I kind of fold it on the other side one more time, just so you guys know what's going on. I'm going to fold it on the other side. There we go. All right. Then I'm going to take a piece of tape. Where did my straw go? There's my straw. Right. This one's a little bit trickier, I feel, to do it this way. Takes a little bit more patience and practice. Okay. And I'm going to slide this piece right here. Kind of looks like a whistle. Slide this in. Slide this in. And I'm going to tape this straw down. I'm going to go ahead and tape it down right here. It doesn't really matter on this one. I'm going to tape it down with that joint facing up. Let's see how this one works. Let's see how Matt's model works. Okay. And if I pull this and I hold this down, is that flexing? No, not really. Kind of. It wants to. Okay. It's not working great. Okay. So I would need to definitely, oh, there we go. There you go. You have to pull it a little bit harder, but this straw is thicker. So I would have to pull and make a few more cuts to make this work. I might have to cut this a little bit deeper. All right. So that's one other way to look at it, and another way to make your hand model. The thing with this is it's going to take a lot of time. Okay, the thing with this, it's going to take time. You're going to have to work with it. There's going to be some trial and error. You're going to make mistakes. That's why I like using masking tape better than Scotch tape, because you can actually move and re-stick masking tape a few times before you actually lose its stickiness. Okay, so if I pull this, okay, let me see if I can pull this here a little bit. If I hold that here, that does kind of curl like a finger. It wants to. All right. It'll work a little bit better. I'd have to work with this, and plus my straw is really, really thick. If I had a regular sized one, that's fine. All right. So those are a couple different ways to look at it. You can notch it. You can do that. Some people have flexible straws. Use the flexible part of the straw. See if that actually does something. Use what you've got with you. Use what you got with you. Do what you've got and go with what you have. And you should, keyword should, be able to be successful with this. Okay. It's going to take time. It's going to take patience, but I know you can do it. All right. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and end here. And